Hey there guys, what's going on? It's Gale right here, back on the 5-9 channel, and we are here with another Dragon Ball Super chapter review, and this time we've got chapter 71. Now, today with me, we have Omni Toast. Say hello.
Yo, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Alright, we're here to talk a lot about the Dragon Ball Super chapter. Even though it was sort of a training montage chapter, there was still a lot occurring in the background and a lot of setup to get us geared up for potentially the first of many fights in this arc. So, Omni, before we begin, what are your thoughts on the general chapter overall?
Overall, definitely was a lot calmer than the last few. Like the last few had a lot of lore building and a lot of backstory for all the characters. Mm-hmm. So this one, like you said, it felt like just the train. It was the training montage. Like this is the one day you listen to the Rocky music before the the big fight begins. So
yeah. 100% agree with you on that. And speaking of training montage, we immediately get into, I think, slightly a few days or like even maybe a couple of hours after the last chapter ended, and we got into straight Goku's training with Whis again. And this Whis finally confirms what we've been saying all this time, right? Is that Ultra Instinct is not a transformation. However, Goku has been treating it like a transformation. Whis has told Goku that he needs to always be in the Ultra Instinct state in order to avoid the stamina issues and energy costs he's been having with the transformation, right? What did you think about that, Omni? Do you think that was that was expected, that was bound to finally happen?
Yeah, that was, for me, that was something that I kind of was waiting for them to really touch on during, like, Sense Determinant Power.
Yeah.
That it's not something that you could, we even sort of kind of hit on it a little bit in, like, Dragon Ball Super, the Broly movie.
Yeah.
Because, you can take it how you wish, but I still think Goku tried to transform into Ultra Instinct in that fight. Mm-hmm. But, but you said, he keeps treating it like a transformation. It's a state of mind.
Yeah.
It's a calmness of his heart and his mind that he needs to master, and the downside is he's a Saiyan, and that's not necessarily a very easy thing for Saiyans to master.
Exactly. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that entire situation is handled. And then of course we also see Vegeta's still training to learn the Hakai at the same time, and Whis kind of just tells them that your rivals should be yourselves, when trying to grow stronger every single day. Your rival should be yourselves from the previous day, right? You should better yourselves from the day before, right? And then we move straight into the heaters, effectively, where we see them talking about their plans again. We know what their plans were last time, I should say. Their main goal is to kind of make the Saiyans and Granola fight between themselves so that they can effectively get the scraps from the fight and become the strongest from there, basically. What did you think about this entire moment? Any specific moments you want to talk about, Omni?
It was for the heaters this chapter. It was definitely more or less shining the light on Gas.
Yeah.
Because Gas was the only one we didn't get to see fight in the Granola fight that he did with them, but they did mention that there's no doubts to how strong he is, and that he's the only member of this family that could surpass Frieza. So like, how strong is Gas actually? Like they say he has the ability to surpass, but like, is he at that point, or is he? They just know that his latent battle power is, there.
Yeah. That's something that we'll come on to in a couple of minutes. Actually, that's a good point you've raised up, right? His latent battle power. We'll come on to that in just a moment once we get to that whole section. We see, obviously, some of the members of the Heaters split up to go and get everything sorted out to make sure the Saiyans and Granola meet each other. So they go to this alien called Lord Zuno, who basically wants Maki, or one of the Heaters, to kiss him in order to get 10 questions, and she does so on the cheek, of course, and she gets 10 questions answered, including stuff from regarding the Earth's Dragon Balls and whatnot, right?
Yep.
And then we find out as well that there has been a time skip occur. And now this is the more interesting thing for me. We see it's been like about, they say a few weeks later, which I would boldly assume it's been at least a month minimum, right? Of a time skip between the time they started the training and the moment we see now. We see Goku, being able to dodge all of Whis' staff's attacks, I should say. Vegeta learning the Hakai in much greater scales, I suppose, considering he was only destroying pebbles only like last chapter, and now he can destroy logs and like massive acres of land instead. So there has been
and almost Beerus. Let's put that into perspective here. In a panel, Beerus was the one chucking the like logs into the river.
Yeah.
And Beerus was like right on the river bed.
Yeah.
When Vegeta annihilated that.
Yep. And so so they keep saying that time has passed and whatnot. So we can see the improvements that Goku and Vegeta have had, which is insane. Obviously, considering it has been a couple of months or at least a month minimum, right? And then we find out the heaters made their way to Earth finally, to try and grab Goku and Vegeta and persuade them to fight Granola by saying that there is a villain that they want them to beat. He's come out and said he's the strongest warrior. What do you think about that and how they've managed to kind of persuade them, Omni?
I mean, it's just for me, it's a little bit silly in this aspect. This is just my thought on it. It's just a little bit on the sillier side. It's like, I know they were planning to manipulate them, but I really thought it would have been the other way around. I really thought they were gonna like call up Granola and say, "Hey, we found Saiyans who we have seen with Frieza before." I thought they were gonna send him their way, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But it's also for me it's silly, is because it's like they're literally just playing on Goku and Vegeta's need to fight something.
That is true. I mean, they know the attitude of Saiyans. I think everybody in the universe does know how Saiyans operate, right?
They just want to punch something really, really hard.
Yeah. And not only that, we have to also remember, like, Goku and Vegeta are probably also well known across the galaxy at this point, right? Or across the universe, purely because of Moro, the Frieza shenanigans, and so on and so forth. They've just become well known now, right?
Yeah, and who even knows like what hasn't been like said about the tournament, like if anything's come out about the Tournament of Power or anything like stuff like that. I know that might have been more secretive, but you never know.
Yep.
They haven't told us any of this stuff yet.
Exactly. That's one thing I will say is like this whole entire scene also reminded me of again, I love how I'm just referencing the Broly movies every chapter because it just seems like it is. But we were just talking about this before the recording, and I was just saying this whole chapter reminds me of like when Paragus came to Earth and tried and goaded Vegeta into coming to New Planet Vegeta, and it's just the same situation here. They're just goading the Saiyans into trying to beat up Granola and telling them to please come with us. We're gonna take you to this guy who's really, really strong. Come and fight us, or come and fight him. So it's very cool and interesting to see the parallels there, even though it might be a very, very minute parallel, but it's a funny parallel nonetheless, in my opinion. One thing we did also see is that they went secretly off to the side while Bulma and Chi-Chi were trying to communicate with Goku and Vegeta to tell them, you have to come. They want you to beat up this villain. And they go and pick up the Dragon Radar. Now, what do you think about that one, Omni?
Well, I mean, the thing about the Dragon Radar, it actually makes sense, because one of the things they found out from Zuno is that the Earth Dragon Balls turn to stone when they're used.
Yeah.
And that Granolas don't.
Yep.
So, but that also then puts in a little bit of a perspective, because we were talking about this as well before the recording, and I can't recall the Earth's Dragon being used in the Moro arc.
Yeah.
Which means it's still been used since, like, it's still, like, in its respawn time since the Broly encounter.
Yeah.
Which means it hasn't been a whole year.
Yep. Or it's either that, or they've just been using it very liberally. That's also another factor that we have to consider. Maybe Bulma is using it for her youth again. Maybe Frieza finally got his wish and we haven't seen him yet, and he's finally taller now. Who knows?
That would be the greatest reveal of the arc.
Bro, imagine if we just see Frieza just like 7 foot tall next chapter or something, and it's just like, wait, what? Wait, when did this happen?
I'd be all for it.
But yeah, that's what exactly like Omni said. That's extremely possible. I do think like I'm surprised that we're so close to the end of Z, and the Broly movie has just happened, the Moro arc has just happened, and now we're in the Granola arc, and it's all been not even a full year, right? Again, like we mentioned in the last chapter review, time in Super is really, really hard to judge at this point. It's very, very confusing. I'd like to think we're not 2 years away now still from the Moro arc, or from, sorry, not Moro arc, sorry, end of Z, sorry. So
yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see where they go from here, to be quite honest. Another thing I want to point on with the serial Dragon Balls, this is what I was thinking. Do you think that while Granola and Goku and Vegeta are fighting, do you think they might use the Dragon Balls to try and execute the same exact wish on Gas?
I could see that. That'd be, I mean, if his latent battle power is that good, like just naturally, they could easily, like, and the thing is, they don't even have to, like, what if they, so like with English is hard today. So like with Granola, he literally sacrificed his remaining life to have that power. Gas might not.
Exactly. Or Gas might have a longer lifespan potentially left over. Or he may have the same issue as Granola, but he'll be more willing because it's his, I guess, family that he's trying to help out. Or his gang.
Doing it for the sake of revenge.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see. Let us know in the comment section below, what do you think about that comment, sorry, I should say. One thing I'll also want to address as well, that I completely forgot off the top of my head now, but one thing we can talk about is obviously Whis and Beerus's friendly rivalry between each other regarding that. How did you feel about that, and what do you think about that whole situation?
It's actually really funny because it really well parallels Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
Because Goku and Vegeta have had this like on and off rivalry. I wouldn't say on and off. It's just this constant rivalry since Vegeta became, I guess, good, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It kind of came to a way like now it's like, oh, we each have a prodigy now. Let's see who's training better. Here, Vegeta, take a destroyer earring to show that you can use destruction and show that destruction's better than the angels.
Yeah, it's kind of odd considering the gods are trying to learn the power of the angels as well. So it's really, really just like weird. I mean, that's been that's been a bit of a problem for me in this entire arc as well. It's just like how much Beerus is trying to gas up the power of destruction when Whis and everybody, and even in the Tournament of Power, they literally said the gods are trying to learn, have been trying to learn Ultra Instinct, but to no avail, right? So it's a bit of an odd one there. Okay, I remembered the point that I wanted to talk about. You know, when these guys are talking about Frieza's power and everything, like, you know, and whatnot, do you think they're still judging Frieza from his older days, or do you think they're judging him based on he is now?
That's a good question because like they know Frieza's back, but do they know that he's got the golden ability? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we know obviously we know Granola is gonna far and beyond outmatch Frieza, right? That's not even a question because of his wish, right?
Yep.
But we don't know about the heaters and Gas himself, because when they were saying like, oh, Gas has the power to be stronger than Frieza, do they mean Frieza's final form from Namek, or do they mean like his golden ability or golden form from now? You know, it's a very, very interesting question and possibility that we'll probably find out, I think, in the coming chapters. If we even see Frieza. I mean, the amount he's been mentioned, I'm surprised we haven't seen him yet, you know?
Like not even just a passing shot of him, like, someone's talking about me.
Yeah, he might just be sneezing every so often, like somebody just spoke about me somewhere, like 50,000 miles away. But yeah, no, that's gonna be very interesting to say the least as well. Then we obviously cut to Granola. Granola and Maki have a bit of a talk. You know, Granola's like, have you finally found him? I'm running out of patience. Maki said, yeah, the scouting squad screwed up. They let it slip that Granola's trying to gun for Frieza's head. Obviously, kind of lying about it, of course. And then they say that 2 of Frieza's assassins are making their way for Cereal or Planet Cereal right now. And that is Goku and Vegeta. They literally pan to Goku and Vegeta, which is funny because they're teasing that Goku and Vegeta are Frieza's assassins and part of Frieza's army, basically. And then they tell Granola as well that they are part of the Saiyan tribe, quote unquote, basically. But they are effectively they're Saiyans, right? And Granola's like, there are Saiyans still alive? What? And then the final panel cuts to effectively, Granola saying, Saiyans are finally coming to my planet once again. It's 50 years overdue, but revenge will finally be mine. So what do you think about that whole situation? And I assume fight next chapter?
Either fight or one heck of a talking to.
Talk no jutsu coming soon.
Because they're gonna find a way to push that fight for like the last few panels.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just goes to show that Granola is still like so blinded by his revenge.
Yeah.
Like I just have this weirdest suspicion. Even though he's wanting to be the strongest in the universe, I have a feeling he might be like a little bit undermatched. Like I feel like he's getting himself into way over his head right now.
I think we have to also address that it has been a couple of weeks and more time for Goku and Vegeta to train, right? And that can be a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. Granola requested to be the strongest warrior in the universe, but we don't know if he trained that power to become stronger than that, right?
Yeah.
We just know.
Or did he just sit on it?
Did he just sit on it, right? Whereas Goku and Vegeta harnessed that power more. We've seen Vegeta improve his Hakai powers to a degree. We've seen Goku improve his Ultra Instinct, or his instincts to a point where it's very strong as well. So that will be an interesting question. I think we'll be addressing next chapter. Again, I think I can raise the question again: fusion or no?
No, I'm gonna say no fusion yet.
No fusion yet.
If we see fusion, it will be like the last resort. Because again, they're having this competition in the side of this.
Yeah, I have to.
I don't think we'll see either.
Yeah, no,
I
have
actually
to
could be cool if we don't. I'll just be okay with no fusion, nothing.
No, I can't disagree with you on that one. I have to agree. Like, I was just raising the question to see if you had any opinions on it, but I can agree with you on that one. Like, I don't think there's any reason for them to do it just yet.
There's no reason yet. Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe my only thought process is if they somehow manage to use the Dragon Balls in a way where gas is literally like super powerful, like unbeatable levels, or if there's some other way of them using the Dragon Balls to the point where Goku and Vegeta's power diminishes by a decent chunk, maybe. But I highly doubt it. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Dragon Balls are exactly used, because that'll be I think that's gonna be the game changer, I feel, as well.
Yep.
But any final thoughts on the chapter overall, Omni, before we wrap up?
Overall, I mean, like I said, it was the training montage episode. It was the calm before the storm for sure now.
Yeah.
We know the next chapter, which comes out May 20th, one day before my birthday. Woo! Is going to be fantastic, and it's going to definitely start the first engagement to see like where everyone's going to stand on that ladder to begin with to start the arc. So
yeah, exactly. Again, I'm still a bit concerned overall with the time period and everything, like, especially the Broly vibes that I'm getting here and there. I'm not gonna lie, but overall, again, I think this has been a problem with Dragon Ball Super in general, is like I'm always not 100% invested into these arcs anymore. I guess it's also because of my journeys to experience other manga and shows have just had better writing quality nowadays compared to what Dragon Ball is, which is very much the same old. I think Geekdom posted a tweet earlier today, or the day of this recording, saying, are you emotionally invested into this arc? And like, I think it was like 70% said no, 30% said yes. Obviously the anime helps out a lot because you have those hype moments, of the excitement. But at the same time, I think it's also a lot of people have just managed to, started exploring more other like shonen manga that have improved, show a case of improvement in like, the storytelling and whatnot, right? So yeah, that's obviously there, but I still really want to see how this is going to turn out. I can see the potential in this. It's time to see if they execute it well, because the Moro arc was okay, but it had its issues as well, right?
It's gonna come down to this first fight, honestly. I really think the tone and pacing of this arc is gonna come down to this first fight between Vegeta, Goku, and Granola.
Yeah, because they have been doing this setup for what, it's been 3 months ever since we started doing these reviews. The setup's been going on, right? So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see where it goes from here. Let us know down in the comment section below, what did you guys think of this chapter? And, you know, based on that last topic, are you guys invested into this arc? Actually, that's a good question. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more anime manga related content, and we will see you guys in a future anime manga video or next month for the Dragon Ball Super chapter review. From Omni and I, take it easy, everybody. Peace out.